Hello there, it is me, Tarmin, and welcome back. You might be wondering, why is this so far out? Well, that's because of this. Today we're going to be building a machine Krieger kit, the Pak.kröte, however you pronounce that. But today we're going to be building the long barrel version. It's 1/35th scale. Super excited. If you guys are new to this, I'm a huge fan of machine Krieger. And this kit comes with two in here. So here's all the little parts. Oh yeah, oh I can't wait. So let's get to building. I'm gonna go through all these pieces. There's two in here, but we're only building one version for right now. So let's get the parts together. So here we are. We have all the sprues all out of the box. Which is nice about this kit is that each version, the long barrel one is green and the short barrel one is blue. But we're going to be building the long barrel one first, which is this bad boy. Even though they are identical, the big difference is just the gun on these. Oh yeah, I love these kits. I just love the design and everything about them. So let's just hop into building this bad boy, and along the way we're going to make it like a tank, so we're going to be doing some tank little modifications to it. So let's begin. Okay, it's me, Tarman. I'm gonna hop in real quick. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a rough understanding, or my rough understanding, on what this little guy is. I do know it's from the universe Machine Krieger. I'm a big fan of the style of Machine Krieger, but I don't really know too much about the universe. I'm pretty sure I just need to do a little bit more digging. But I do know that this is actually a robot, like a drone, and that there's a civil war happening on Earth, and I guess there's not enough people to go around, so they send in these drones to really fight their wars. But yeah, that's what this guy is. He's a little robot. I first thought it was actually like a vehicle, but nope. Turns out it's a bot. It's a little drone that does his little thing and blasts people. So yeah. Also, if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm actually scoring the edge to make it look like it was cut, like a piece of steel that they just cut out, just to add a little bit more of a cool effect to it. A lot of tanker or model, a lot of people who do tank models do that as well. So yeah. Alrighty, now I have everything here together, and it is modular at the moment, just to make it easier later on when I go to paint it and kit bashing. But the first thing we're going to be doing with the kit bashing, I'm going to be replacing all of the crane hooks with actual metal wire and stuff, and then I'm going to add in a sand casted steel texture to it. And weld beams, it may be a little bit of battle damage on it. I think it'll bring this kit together, make it look kind of more like a tank in a way. So let's hop in with Tamiya putty. And I'm going to apply that all over the tank or turret, and with a brush I'll get the texture. And there we are. Now we have all that beautiful texture on this guy, making him look like he's sandcasted. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to make all the little wire handles and rods and protective bars on this guy. So I got myself here some nice steel wire, and we're going to bend that into shape and cut it and glue it all in place. So let's do it. Alright, so you can see here I've already cut out the plastic ones, and what I'm going to do is match it to it, and bend these in the appropriate shape that it's supposed to be in, so we get a pretty accurate thing here. Let's try it this way. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's just copying everything that's here and then gluing it on. So let's do it. Alrighty, so now I got all of these little railing and bars bent and ready to go. Now the next thing to do is just glue them on. So let's glue them. And there we are. Now we got all that real wire. Doo-doo. Now next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add some welding beams on this. And what I'm gonna be using to do that is this green stuff. So let's mix up some of that and let's add some little weld beams to this guy. So let's do it. So you're probably wondering what I'm doing here. So what you do is you roll out a little piece of green stuff or whatever putty you're using, and then after you rolled it out and got it nice and blended to an extent, you don't want to blend it too much, you take a toothpick or whatever tool you want to use to do the little weld beads, and you press into it consistently, and it will give the effect of welding. That's about it. Alright, so now I'm going the extra mile. You can do it this way to do like dents or scorch marks in armor, like I got hit with a round. Normally, you would want like to drill like a little pilot hole, then put your putty in there, but I didn't feel like doing that, so I just put the putty directly on top as a little ball, then you use the end of a brush to help blend it and put a dent in it to make it look like it got shot with a round, a little tank round or whatever. But this is supposed to be like a laser blast, so I can get away with a little bit more because it's like, oh, it melted the metal a little bit and pushed it back out. But yeah, that's about what I'm doing. I have other videos that I go a little bit more in depth with that. But yeah. And there we are. Now we got the weld beads and some battle damage on him. Decided to put 3 little pod marks in him. Laser blast. But there it is. Now really the next thing to do, I'm going to add in some very skinny wire. I'm going to end up replacing these with a little skinnier wire. The wire I'm going to be using is this copper wire, and I'm going to wrap it around this very tightly, making some little hoses and stuff. I'm going to add that in some of these areas. So let's do it. And there we are. Those aren't connected yet because when it comes to painting, I need to take the legs off. But this is him so far. All the little modifications. Some welding, some new piping, some sand casted steel. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I'm gonna spray him a red iron oxide primer, and then we'll hop over to a little montage of this guy. And here he is in his glory. Oh yeah. I did use a cool little spray paint that has this texture to it, so it gives him like a pretty neat little rough texture all over the model. And I think it'll help with the paint job and everything. And yeah, he has that beautiful red iron oxide primer on him. I'm not really gonna paint him today. This is just for the modifications, and I hope you guys think the modifications look cool. I like the way they look. But yeah, he's still not glued together completely because I need to pull him apart when I actually do paint him. But stay tuned for that. Will be coming soon in the future. But without further ado, let's do that montage.